So one thing that's probably obvious to people is the importance of balance. And this is increasingly important as you age, right? So the older you are, the greater the consequences for losing your balance. But I want to kind of point out two different elements of balance using two devices that I love using. One that I used to train with a lot, and frankly one that I don't use very much anymore, and then one that I currently focus on a lot more. So the one that I used to use a lot, and I use it still from time to time, is like a balance board. So I'm sure you've all seen these things. They're like basically it's like a skateboard with a little free moving roller underneath it. So you sort of get up on this thing, and then you're basically balancing on this thing. So this thing rolls back and forth. And truthfully, the first time I ever got on one of these things, I couldn't do it at all. I never skateboarded, I don't surf, so maybe I just came into it without that type of skill set. But literally the first time I got on it, you just fall immediately, right? Like you get up on it, then you fall, or you get up on it, and you fall. Okay. It took a grand total of maybe 30 minutes to go from that to this. So the learning curve was really short and really steep, and this came quite easily. And I think this is kind of like a gross overall balance tool. And I think it's totally fine. But the thing that I've been using lately is something I like a lot more. And it's something called a Blackboard. It was introduced to me by Kyler Brown. So it's called Blackboard. I have no affiliation with these guys. It's an incredibly overpriced piece of machinery, to be frank. I don't know how much it costs, but I remember when I bought it, I was blown away. And it's just two pieces of wood that are connected by a wooden rope. And it has these little Velcro things on the bottom that you can adjust. So the kind of starter position is to destabilize the forefoot. So one of these bars down the middle, and then two on the back. So when you put this thing down now, the back of your foot is incredibly stable and the front of your foot is not. And this is training lower leg variability, which is a very important part of balance. But I much more favor this type of training. It's much harder, it's much more nuanced, but this to me is where the game is won and lost. Beth Lewis describes this as problem solving for your foot and lower leg. So when you stand on this thing, you'll notice it's obviously incredibly unstable. And so the way you want to start training with something like this is all of your weight on the two legs equally. So 50-50 weight here. And all you really want to be doing is just seeing that you have the ability to even distribute weight through the intrinsic musculature of the foot. Remember, our feet and our hands are surprisingly similar in terms of their evolution, their innervation of musculature. The difference is we spend our entire life with our feet wrapped up. It's kind of like wearing tight mittens forever on your hands and then expecting to be able to do things with them. It's really hard. So we kind of have to relearn a lot of this stuff. So eventually you sort of progress to the point where you have very little weight on the supporting leg and most of the weight is over here. And then eventually you kind of get to the point where you can even pick this leg up and do a bit of the balance here. Now this looks like it should be really easy because there's not much movement. Yet it's astonishingly difficult. It's much more difficult than that thing. I can stand on that balance board with my eyes shut, literally. I can stand on that balance board and do anything. I can dance, I can make a clown of myself. This is much harder, and there's much more involved. And if I can go on a good day 20 seconds without a touch, that's pretty good. So I just want to differentiate again between sort of the subtlety of the real foot lower leg variability versus kind of the gross skills of balance. And honestly, I think this is a tool. As I said, it's a surprisingly overpriced thing. I don't know how much it cost again, but I remember being surprised. But to me, it's actually worth every penny. And it's something that I'm pretty much stepping on 5 days a week. And again, I would recommend starting out without trying to do it in the full balanced way, but instead just experimenting with it, whether it be sitting down and having the leg on it or fully supported as I started out. Anyway, Blackboard, lower leg variability, very important part of the balance strategy.